Why does it feel like your grocery bill is skyrocketing every week? Across the globe, families are grappling with the same question. Why is food becoming so expensive? What was once a manageable expense now feels like a growing burden. And it's not just inflation at play, it's a much deeper crisis. From disrupted supply chains to global turmoil, the cost of food is spiraling, turning basic necessities into luxuries for millions. Everyday staples that used to be affordable are now slipping out of reach, and this alarming trend shows no signs of slowing down. In this video, we're diving into the unsettling reality of why food prices are climbing so fast. We'll reveal the hidden factors driving up costs and explore how this could be the start of a much larger issue. Get ready to uncover the truth behind the foods that are becoming nearly impossible to afford. 1. The soaring cost of bottled water. Bottled water, once a symbol of convenience and affordability, has become an unexpected financial strain for families worldwide. For years, it was marketed as the pure, safe, and portable solution to hydration, a staple that could be purchased in bulk without a second thought. However, in 2025, the story has changed dramatically. Rising production costs, fueled by increased energy prices and labor expenses, have combined with transportation challenges and a global shortage of plastic to send bottled water prices skyrocketing. What was once a simple, everyday purchase now feels like a luxury for many households. The irony of this situation is striking. Water, the most essential resource for human survival, is becoming a financial burden. Bottled water, which started as a backup option for emergencies or travel, has evolved into a daily necessity for millions. In many regions, tap water is either unsafe or distrusted, leaving families with little choice but to rely on bottled water despite its rising cost. While alternatives like water filtration systems or refill stations exist, they often require significant upfront investments that are out of reach for low-income households. This growing dependence on bottled water highlights a deeper issue within global supply systems. When even the most basic resource on Earth becomes unaffordable, it raises serious questions about the sustainability and equity of our food and resource distribution networks. Families that once stocked up on bottled water without hesitation now find themselves rationing or seeking cheaper alternatives, only to discover that those options come with their own challenges. The rising cost of bottled water is more than just a financial inconvenience. It's a symbol of a larger crisis. It underscores the fragility of supply chains and the growing divide between those who can afford convenience and those who cannot. As prices continue to climb, bottled water is no longer just a product. It's a necessity that's slipping further out of reach for millions, leaving them trapped in a cycle of rising costs and limited options. 2. The vanishing affordability of dried legumes. Dried legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, and more have long been the unsung heroes of affordable, nutritious eating. For decades, they were the go-to protein source for families on tight budgets, offering a versatile, shelf-stable, and cost-effective alternative to meat. These humble ingredients could be purchased in bulk, stored for months, and transformed into countless meals, making them a cornerstone of diets around the world. But in recent years, even dried legumes have fallen victim to the rising tide of food costs. The reasons behind this shift are complex and deeply troubling. Climate change has disrupted harvests in key growing regions, leading to lower yields and higher prices. At the same time, the cost of fertilizers and other agricultural inputs has soared, further driving up production expenses. Add to this the rising costs of global shipping and transportation, and it's no surprise that dried legumes are no longer the budget-friendly staple they once were. This change is particularly alarming because legumes are more than just food. They are a lifeline for millions. Packed with protein, fiber, iron, and essential vitamins, they are a vital source of nutrition for low-income families who cannot afford animal protein. The affordability of dried legumes once ensured that even the tightest budgets could support healthy, balanced meals. But as prices climb, many families are being forced to cut back, leading to poorer diets and worse health outcomes. Some may turn to canned legumes as an alternative, but these too are becoming more expensive and lack the bulk value of their dried counterparts. Without affordable legumes, the gap between rich and poor diets is widening, creating a stark divide in access to nutrition. What was once a dependable, low-cost food source is now slipping out of reach for many, leaving them with fewer options and greater financial strain. The rising cost of dried legumes is a stark reminder of how deeply the global food crisis is affecting even the most basic and essential ingredients. It's not just about losing a cheap source of protein, it's about losing a cornerstone of food security for millions of people. 3. The breakfast crisis. Cereals. Cereals, the quintessential breakfast food, have long been a staple of family life. From brightly colored boxes that promise fun and flavor to fortified varieties packed with essential vitamins and minerals, cereals have been marketed as the ultimate combination of convenience, nutrition, and affordability. For decades, they were the go-to option for busy parents looking to provide a quick, filling meal before school or work. But in 2025, the cost of cereals has reached unprecedented levels, turning this once accessible breakfast choice into a financial burden. The reasons behind this price surge are multifaceted. The rising cost of grains, driven by climate-related disruptions and increased demand, is a major factor. Sugar, another key ingredient in many cereals, has also become more expensive due to global supply chain issues. On top of that, the cost of packaging materials has soared, adding yet another layer of expense. The result is that a box of cereal, once considered a budget-friendly option, now takes a significant bite out of the weekly grocery budget. This shift is particularly painful because cereals hold a special place in modern family culture. They are more than just food, they are a tradition, a symbol of comfort and routine. For generations, cereals have been a staple of childhood, a reliable source of energy and nutrition to start the day. But as prices rise, many families are being forced to cut back, turning breakfast into yet another source of financial stress. The alternatives to cereals are not always better. Pastries, bread, or fast food breakfasts are often less healthy and in some cases just as expensive. For millions of families, cereals represented the perfect middle ground, affordable, nutritious, and convenient. Their rising cost is not just about losing a breakfast option, it's about losing a piece of everyday life that once felt stable and secure. The growing inaccessibility of cereals is a stark reminder of how deeply the food affordability crisis is affecting families. It's not just about the price of a single product, it's about the erosion of traditions, routines, and the sense of security that comes with knowing you can provide for your family. As cereals become harder to afford, they join a growing list of everyday items that are slipping out of reach, leaving families to navigate an increasingly uncertain and challenging food landscape. For the rising cost of energy bars. Energy bars, once hailed as the perfect blend of health, convenience, and affordability, are no longer the budget-friendly snack they used to be. These compact, nutrient-packed bars were a staple for busy lifestyles, offering a quick energy boost for school lunches, gym sessions, or office breaks. However, the escalating prices of their core ingredients, oats, nuts, dried fruits, and chocolate, have turned them into a luxury item for many households. The cost of these raw materials has surged due to global supply chain disruptions, climate challenges, and increased demand, making energy bars far less accessible than they once were. Packaging and branding costs have also played a significant role in driving up prices. Energy bars, often marketed as premium health products, now come with a price tag that reflects their upscale image rather than their original purpose as an affordable snack. For families who once relied on them as a healthier alternative to sugary, processed junk food, this shift is both frustrating and limiting. The disappearance of affordable energy bars leaves a noticeable gap in the market for quick, nutritious snacks. Cheaper alternatives, such as candy bars or chips, are often loaded with sugar, unhealthy fats, and empty calories, making them a poor substitute. This means that cutting energy bars from the grocery list often results in less healthy dietary choices, further exacerbating the challenges of maintaining a balanced diet on a budget. The rising cost of energy bars is a stark reminder of how inflation and global economic pressures are reshaping even the most basic aspects of daily life. What was once a simple, accessible snack has now become a symbol of the growing divide between those who can afford convenience and those who cannot. As prices continue to climb, energy bars are no longer just a quick bite. They're a reflection of a broader crisis in food affordability. 5. Canned goods, from pantry staple to pricey commodity. Canned goods have long been the unsung heroes of food security, offering an affordable, practical solution for families looking to stretch their budgets. Whether it's vegetables, soups, meats, or fish, canned foods have been a reliable option for decades, providing nutrition and convenience in one shelf-stable package. But in recent years, even this cornerstone of affordability has fallen victim to rising costs, leaving families scrambling to adjust. The reasons behind this shift are multifaceted. The cost of raw ingredients has risen sharply due to climate-related disruptions and increased global demand. At the same time, the prices of tin and aluminum, essential materials for can production, have soared, adding another layer of expense. These factors have combined to make canned goods significantly more expensive, eroding their status as a budget-friendly option. This change is particularly troubling because canned foods have always been a lifeline during times of crisis. From natural disasters to economic downturns, they've provided a sense of security, ensuring that families always had something to eat, no matter the circumstances. Now, even this safety net is slipping away, leaving households more vulnerable than ever. Fresh alternatives, while appealing in theory, are often less practical. They're more perishable, more expensive, and harder to store in bulk, making them an unrealistic option for many families. Canned goods, with their long shelf life and versatility, were one of the last reliable ways to maintain food security on a tight budget. Their transformation into a pricey commodity is not just about losing convenience. It's about losing a critical tool for survival in an increasingly uncertain world. The rising cost of canned goods is a sobering reminder of how deeply the global food crisis is affecting even the most basic and essential items. It's not just about the price of a can of soup or beans, it's about the erosion of a system that once guaranteed access to affordable, nutritious food for all. 6. Wheat flour. The foundation of food under threat. Wheat flour, the backbone of countless cuisines and diets around the world, is no longer the affordable staple it once was. For generations, a bag of flour symbolized sustenance and versatility, allowing families to bake bread, prepare tortillas, or stretch meals with minimal expense. But in 2025, the rising costs of wheat production, fertilizers, and global shipping have turned this once dependable ingredient into a financial strain for households everywhere. The reasons for this dramatic shift are rooted in a combination of environmental and economic factors. Climate change has disrupted wheat harvests in key growing regions, leading to lower yields and higher prices. At the same time, the cost of fertilizers and other agricultural inputs has skyrocketed, further driving up production expenses. Add to this the rising costs of transportation and distribution, and it's clear why wheat flour is no longer the budget-friendly option it once was. This change is particularly alarming because wheat flour is more than just an ingredient. It's a cornerstone of global cuisine. From bread in Europe to noodles in Asia to pastries across the Americas, it has long been the universal food of the people. Its affordability ensured that even the tightest budgets could support a variety of meals, making it an essential part of daily life for millions. The ripple effects of rising flour prices are far-reaching. When the cost of flour goes up, so does the cost of everything made from it. Bread, pasta, cakes, and countless processed foods. This impact is unavoidable, affecting every household regardless of income. For low-income families, the rising cost of flour means cutting back on baking and other home-cooked meals, leading to a greater reliance on more expensive or less nutritious alternatives. Wheat flour, once the cheapest way to feed families, is now a stark example of how even the most basic building blocks of food are becoming unaffordable. Its rising cost is not just a financial inconvenience. It's a symbol of the growing challenges facing families as they navigate an increasingly unstable and inequitable food system. 7. The unaffordable rise of eggs. Eggs, long celebrated as the most versatile and budget-friendly source of protein, have become a surprising casualty of rising food costs in 2025. Once known as the poor man's meat, eggs were a reliable staple, offering a nutritious and affordable option for families across the globe. However, a combination of factors has sent egg prices soaring, leaving households struggling to keep this essential item on their grocery lists. The root of the problem lies in the rising costs of production. Feed prices for chickens have skyrocketed, driven by global supply chain disruptions and increased demand. Frequent outbreaks of avian flu have further strained the industry, reducing the supply of eggs and driving up prices. On top of that, higher energy costs have made egg farming more expensive, compounding the issue. What makes this situation particularly dire is the irreplaceable nature of eggs. They are not just a source of protein, they are a nutritional powerhouse packed with essential vitamins and minerals. Eggs are a cornerstone of countless meals, from breakfast omelets to baked goods, and their absence leaves a noticeable gap in the diet. While plant-based egg substitutes exist, they are often far more expensive and less accessible, making them an unrealistic alternative for many families. The rising cost of eggs is more than just a financial inconvenience. It's a blow to food security. For generations, eggs have been the fallback option. The guarantee that no matter how tight the budget, there was always a healthy, filling food available. In 2025, even that guarantee is slipping away, leaving families with one less lifeline in an increasingly challenging food landscape. 8. The disappearing affordability of vegetables. Vegetables, once the most basic and affordable way to ensure a healthy diet, have become some of the hardest items to afford in 2025. Rising fuel prices, unpredictable weather patterns, and the soaring cost of fertilizers have all contributed to the dramatic increase in vegetable prices. What was once a cheap and abundant source of nutrition is now a luxury for many families, forcing them to buy less or skip fresh produce altogether. The loss of affordable vegetables has far-reaching consequences, both for individual health and for society as a whole. Vegetables are essential for providing vitamins, minerals, and fiber, forming the backbone of a balanced diet. When families cut back on fresh produce, they often turn to cheaper, processed foods that lack the same nutritional value. This shift not only stretches budgets, but also increases the risk of long-term health problems, such as obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. The cultural impact of this change is equally significant. Vegetables are more than just food. They are a symbol of freshness, vitality, and connection to the earth. They play a central role in family dinners, traditional recipes, and cultural celebration. Their growing absence on household tables is a disturbing sign of how deeply the food affordability crisis is affecting even the most natural and essential parts of the human diet. The rising cost of vegetables is a stark reminder of the fragility of our food system. It highlights the urgent need for solutions that can ensure access to affordable, nutritious food for all, even in the face of global challenges. 9. Potatoes, the endangered comfort food. Potatoes, long regarded as the ultimate symbol of cheap and filling food, are now surprisingly expensive in 2025. For centuries, they have been the answer to hunger and a bedrock of diverse cuisines, offering a versatile, calorie-rich, and affordable option for families around the world. From the simple mashed potato to crispy fries or hearty stews, this humble tuber has been a foundational cornerstone of diets across countless cultures. But today, a perfect storm of climate-related crop failures, spiraling transportation costs, and increased global demand have made potatoes far less accessible and significantly more costly than they once were. The inherent nutritional value of potatoes makes their rising price particularly concerning for households struggling with food security. They are a readily available source of energy, packed with essential vitamins and minerals, providing crucial sustenance at a fraction of the cost of many other food items. For families operating on tight budgets, potatoes have consistently offered a reliable and efficient way to stretch meals, adding bulk and nutrition to feed many mouths without breaking the bank. Losing easy access to cheap potatoes, therefore, means losing one of the simplest and most effective tools for daily survival, leaving countless households with drastically fewer options for affordable, nutritious meals. While other carbohydrate alternatives like rice or pasta exist, these staples are also contending with their own inflationary pressures, further limiting the viable choices available to struggling families. The rising cost of potatoes is not merely about the disappearance of a cheap food option, it's about losing a powerful symbol of resilience and perseverance. Potatoes have always been the quintessential food of hard times, a reassuring guarantee that there would be something filling and substantial on the table even in the most challenging and lean circumstances. In 2025, the steadily growing cost of potatoes represents yet another significant blow to families already grappling with the relentless rise in the cost of living. It starkly underscores the urgent need for comprehensive solutions that can effectively address the root causes of food inflation and ensure that basic, life-sustaining staples remain accessible to everyone, irrespective of their economic situation. 10. Tea, the price of comfort. Tea, once universally seen as an affordable and ubiquitous comfort drink, has become an unexpected victim of soaring prices in persistent droughts and increasingly unpredictable weather patterns in crucial producing countries like India, China, and Kenya have severely reduced harvests, while escalating transportation and energy costs have simultaneously pushed prices even higher throughout the supply chain. What was once a simple, cheap, and calming daily ritual for millions is now steadily becoming a difficult financial decision at the checkout line, forcing many families to painfully reconsider their routine tea consumption. The profound cultural importance of tea makes this economic shift particularly alarming. For billions of people across the globe, tea is far more than just a beverage. It's a cherished tradition, a quiet moment of pause and reflection, and an indispensable source of comfort and solace. Herbal infusions, such as soothing chamomile or invigorating mint, have also long been relied upon as natural remedies for various ailments, from promoting restful sleep and aiding digestion to alleviating stress. The distressing fact that these simple restorative pleasures are increasingly slipping out of financial reach means that families are not only losing a favorite drink, but also a fundamental piece of their daily rhythm and well-being. Alternatives to tea, such as coffee, are unfortunately facing similar inflationary pressures, leaving consumers with increasingly fewer genuinely affordable options for hot beverages. The rising cost of tea, therefore, is not merely about the expense of a drink, it's about the erosion of a profound symbol of warmth, relaxation, and human connection. For many, a cup of tea represents a small but deeply meaningful escape from the relentless stresses and demands of daily life. Its growing inaccessibility serves as a stark and painful reminder of how even the simplest, most fundamental comforts are being priced out of reach for a significant portion of the population. In 2025, the escalating cost of tea stands as yet another poignant example of how far-reaching global challenges are profoundly reshaping the way we live and experience everyday life. It powerfully highlights the critical need for sustainable and equitable solutions that can effectively protect the affordability of everyday essentials, thereby ensuring that even in the most difficult and challenging times, families can continue to enjoy the small but vital pleasures that collectively make life a little brighter and more bearable.